Hi everyone, it's MJ, and I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who sent me a message on LinkedIn because it was my birthday yesterday, and what I want to do is just reply to every single one of you. But while I was doing that, I started actually thinking about this whole concept of age because, like I said, it was my birthday yesterday, so I turned 29. But here's the thing. I actually turned 29 back in June, and you could almost say that I'm currently 30. Now, how does that work? How can I've turned 29 back in June and be 30 now? And that's because actuaries, we have three different definitions of age. Society tends to use age last birthday. So my age last birthday did change yesterday from 28 to 29. However, there's also age next birthday, and so that actually changed yesterday from being 29 to 30. And then there's another definition of age, which I actually prefer, which is my favorite definition of age, not only because it's a little bit more accurate, but because it also means, or if society did celebrate it, then it means I'd have the celebration in June and not in December, which is so close to Christmas. And growing up as a kid, it was always like, okay, what do you want for your birthday? Great, now you've got 10 days to decide what you want for Christmas. Whereas everybody else who's born else in the year, they get a little bit more time. They get a little bit more time to decide on their Christmas gift. But back in June, it was actually June 15th, I turned 29 back then because that was my age nearest birthday. And so that one actually changes at your midpoint. And like I say, it will be aged last birthday in the first part of the year, and then it'll be aged next birthday in the second part of the year if we start the year from the day that you're born. But my thinking about age didn't stop there because as a true, well, in true actuarial fashion, we always like to question these things. And age is something that you see appears on a lot of forms. Like if any of you have bought insurance lately, or if you're actuaries that are pricing insurance and designing products, you use age as a rating factor. In fact, the whole of society tends to use age as a rating factor. It's how we're sorted into the education system, and there's a lot of stereotypical, things that are done about people's age. Oh, those are the millennials. Oh, those are the Gen Zs, and so forth. But like I say, I've been thinking about age, and it's not a perfect measure because another thing we look at in actuarial science are rates or forces, and I guess what we refer to as the force of mortality is very closely linked to age. But the thing about age is that it assumes that everybody grows at the same rate. It assumes that all 1-year-olds to 2-year-olds have grown the same amount. But if you were to look at it, you'll see that some children start walking before others, some start talking before others, and that growth is actually it's something that's a little bit unique to all of us. And I guess if society was more efficient and we had the technology, then when it came to entering into school, you wouldn't necessarily say, oh, you were born in this year, therefore you're going to go into this grade. Instead, they would look and maybe do a test or biological or a little IQ test or something of the sort and say, okay, hold on. Physically, you're at age 5, but mentally, you're at age 9. And then that means from a physical age, you then compete against people in the same age category as you. And then from an intellectual point of view, you're then in a classroom with people at the same level as you. And that could be a much more efficient way of doing the schooling system than just grouping everyone in a cohort based on their age. Because this was something else that I saw, and being a December baby, I'm very, sensitive to this issue. And I was looking at this one report, and they said that a lot of sports stars are born in the months of January and February, and that is particularly when like I think I'm talking from a South African point of view, and I know you guys are all around the world, so it might be a little bit different in your country, but here what happens is that it's based on, so everyone in 1991 was in my age group or was in my school year. Now, because I was born in December, I was now playing sports against people in January, which means that they've had a whole longer year of exposure in which to grow. So even though we're growing at different rates, they've had more time, so they would have, on average, have grown more. And what they found is that a lot of sports stars are born in January because what tends to happen is they have that early advantage, and that early advantage kind of gives them, their coaches and their parents, confidence that, hey, this child is very, very good at sport, and therefore they get more training, they get more attention, they get put in the A team where, like I say, the focus is then on, ooh, you're good at sports, and that kind of becomes part of their identity. And some experts think that this is maybe a little bit incorrect because maybe they were only good at sport because they had a little bit of a time advantage on the other students, and then it became what we refer to as a self-fulfilling prophecy. And the fun thing about self-fulfilling prophecy, it's a term coined by Robert Merton, although not the Robert Merton that we study in financial engineering. Robert Merton's father was the guy who came up with self-fulfilling prophecy, and the Robert Merton that we study comes up with the Black Scholes formula. So yeah, even though Mertens did all the maths, his name wasn't featured in the poor Black Scholes formula, but if you reverse that formula and you start using it for bonds, then it's known as the Merton formula. And as you can see, I've got completely off topic. I'm going on and I'm rambling about other things, so there's maybe a good sign that I should wrap up this video. So yeah, how old is an actuary? Well, this one over here is both 29 from age nearest birthday and age last birthday, but I'm also 30 if you had to look at age next birthday. Anyway, hope you guys are well and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Cheers.